So if we only get a point, it is going to feel like a defeat. But
especially they've been winless now into 3 matches now. So yeah, it is a bit of pressure now with that one, especially. Frank Lampard just said they were very good to the last bit. A really good point for the U's to get, especially this in the bottom three, but that point helps them as much as well. So, all right, let's move on to the game at the Hawthorns, West Brom against Stoke City. Both these teams shared all the spoils, which lifted West Brom out of the relegation zone. But again, it's after. It's been a tough start for Eric Ramsey in his managerial helm, but especially with what's happening with Leicester Star Rovers and Blackburn Rovers and Leicester, in that, but so at the bottom four at the moment. But it was a scrappy period. But was this? Do you think West Brom had a bit more?
Yes, only just though. I mean, it was one of the most trappy. For whatever reason, when I was watching the highlight package, I just thought, what a trap game. I mean, you could tell that West Brom had the better chances. They just couldn't convert. And don't get me wrong, Stoke had their chances as well, and they just couldn't convert. It was a day of the goalkeepers, I think, at the Hawthorne.
Yeah, absolutely as well. Definitely, it was a day of the goalkeepers completely. Let's look at Friday night's game between Charlton against QPR. QPR missed some really good chances actually to try to, their winners run on. It's not extended to 7 games against Charlton, but Charlton were far by the better team. Charlton had a chance to win that game, and but you have to say Joe Walsh made a number of saves to fought the host from that. Listen, is that a missed opportunity for QPR in a playoff race?
Yes, I would say so. But again, it was great for Charlton, but QPR will be ruining those missed chances, I think. And could it come back to bite them with the nature of this championship season? Who QPR's next set of fixtures? They're quite tough ones, I think.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy.
No, it's not going to be easy. I'm just looking at QPR's running for fixtures because I think
for this month alone, it's quite tough for them, I think.
Yeah, I'll just get their fixtures up now actually with what they've got because I think as a start, they got Blackburn next Saturday at home, away to Hull, and then away to Southampton, home to Sheffield United, and then
So home to Blackburn. Now you would think on paper, with the current situation at Blackburn, a home banker, 99% of the fans. But when you go to places like Hull, Sheffield United, it's then that you start to worry a little bit because Hull, even though they lost to Bristol City, it was only by 1 goal they lost, by the way. And maybe not a great run. So I reckon when that one comes around, Hull will be wanting to start up another winning block to continue the push for promotion. So if you're talking about points, QPR will definitely be thinking, we could have scored right at the end, and they could have, but it just went wide.
Yeah, absolutely. I think QPR not getting the 3 points away at the Valley, but a good point for Charlton under Nathan Jones, how they've been this season as well. So, let's move on. I'm going to see what's the next games we can look at. I'm going to choose the game at Deepdale, and actually a good win for Preston through Alfie Devine ended the Portsmouth from match unbeaten run, and it wouldn't end after the 1-0 win back to the fringe.
Although for other reasons, Carl, I was hoping for a Pompey win, but it was a draw, but unfortunately it never materialised. So it's very, very tight. But again, taking nothing away from Preston, fully deserved to win. We all know PH's teams are very, very difficult to break down and beat, especially at home when they have the 12th man of the fans. I actually thought Portsmouth played pretty well. They just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. They did have some very, very close chances. And I think John Messina will be proud of his.
Yeah. Yeah, probably would be disappointed. Like I said, Pompey was hopefully going to try for some confidence. They still wait for a 53-year wait for a win at Deep Dell, which is now continued, goes on for another year as well. So yeah,
54 now.
Yep, we're going up to 54, going up. So yeah, it's a huge word. Disappointing for Portsmouth to their player but after Devine getting the goal, it was a very tight encounter as well, which is in the last 8 home games. So that win was definitely needed for the Lily Whites.
Yeah, it was. And that just puts them right back in contentions for the playoffs.
Yeah, it certainly does put them back in for the playoffs as well.
They're just out on goal difference by 1 goal.
By a goal indeed as well. Let's go to the St Mary's Stadium game at St Mary's Stadium. If Southampton getting a 1-0 win against Watford, new signing Carl Laren scored in 3 minutes into his Southampton debut.
Nice goal. Good goal.
It was a really good goal as well for the Canadian international who's joined on loan for Mallorca. They needed, especially losing Adam Armstrong, pretty much in the transfer window to Wolves, Stefan. Laren's come in to the end of the season to try to fill that gap. And again, like I said, it lists Southampton up to 2 places, but but with Watford, with the sacking Harry Garcia early this week, they're in the table. But actually, the Hornets have failed to score in each of their past 3 games now, and not won a match since New Year's Day.
Yeah, so Southampton, they played really, really well. I actually thought Watford or they resigned, whatever, resigned, whatever. It's
what sacked. Come on, this is Watford we're talking about.
Yeah, so they do what they want. The Potters do what they want, right? So since we've changed manager again, or they're in the process of doing that, Watford's gone on a bit of a whimper these last couple of weeks. It's like they're not playing as I know a Watford side can play. They're turning up, but they seem to be very easy to break down. Yeah, they have spells in the game. Once those spells finish, we just seem to capitulate in the end. And poor Damien John, think Blackburn as well. What am I taking on? So I think that's it for all.
Yeah.
Interim managers at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Charlie Daniels spoke after the game.
Yeah.
He disappointed result. They performed with, I think Watford had a better first half, but the levels dropped off towards the end of the Yeah, absolutely. At the minute it's just, but it's that he's got a lot to do on the trade base, who to bring in that can help them get the promotion race up. Well,
let's be honest. Whoever they bring in at Watford, if you don't do well within the first 5 games, we're going to be back on this merry-go-round again. It's the pot, so.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, it is actually.
Whoever they bring in needs to have a bit of backbone to stand up, to be honest, and say, look.
Then no one's not going to stand up to the puzzle, put the puzzle family. That's impossible.
I know, but we need to try and say, look, back me, give me something, give me the funds to improve the squad, which will be loan players coming in from all the clubs that they have pies and their fingers in the pies. So I just don't see the season ending well for Watford, actually. I mean, it could have, because under Javi Gracia, we had that spell where we rocketed up the table.
Well, that's true. They did
And
as well.
when they were in
There we are. There we go.
That's fine.
I was just going to say, yeah, sorry, lads. I was in a group chat with a bunch of friends, and I just realised, oh shit, it's nearly 8:30. So never mind.
It's all
Well, you
right.
joined us. It was better late than never. So
Well,
Not
absolutely.
like the
Well,
first
Annie's going to.
three
Well, you probably
games
saw.
anyways,
Well, you probably
got
saw.
a
I don't know if you
sort
saw
of
Annie in the
atmosphere.
Twitter group chat, but basically he probably will jump on mid-show because his train's delayed apparently.
well, I'm not on Twitter anymore, and you know that. So
Oh yeah, of course I forgot about that. Yeah, well, basically he might be joining a bit later on.
Cool.
all right, fine. Well, it's good to see you, Michael, because I've not spoken to you for the last.
No, I haven't actually, have I? No, I haven't had a chance to come across each other. But no, I'm not doing too bad. You doing okay?
Yeah, not too bad. Other than
Yeah,
busy
not
with,
bad, thanks,
yeah.
Michael. We're just chatting about our favourite Italian club in the Championship, Pozzo FC, aka Watford.
Oh, right. Okay. I was thinking, who the fuck are you talking about there? But okay, fair enough. I'm sure we'll talk about how they've sacked someone else. Well, sorry, Javi Garcia's left, hasn't he? So
Yeah, that's just what we were saying. We were saying that whoever they bring in needs to try, emphasising the word try, and have a bit of backbone, because say they lose their first 5 games under said new manager, we're back on this merry-go-round again.
and then they'll sack someone else, and then they'll bring someone else in, then sack them, and then bring someone else in, and they'll be on like the 6th of Watford.
Yeah.
When Javi Gracia left, they were 10th. They're going to fall back down the table at a rate of knots, lads, by the way.
I've literally just realised we're actually live right now.
We
Coffee
are,
could be
yeah.
live.
Okay, yeah. Well, you said 8:30. I didn't. I saw. I got a notification 10 minutes ago that you were going to be going. They said, "Oh, he's live." I'm like, that's not 8:30. Like,
I said 8 o'clock. It's
Oh,
11
did you?
p.m. You don't read.
Oh.
You don't
I
read
thought
the anything properly.
No, I thought it was 8:30. That would explain a lot. Okay then.
Jesus.
Well, so how many games have you gone through already?
We've gone through at least 3. We've done the Coventry, Oxford, Westport, Stoke City. We've done 4 actually. We were just finishing on Southampton, Watford.
Okay, feel free to carry on. Feel free to finish that, and then we'll go through some more games.
Yeah, well, that's what the plan was going to be. So yeah.
Okay then.
All right, so yeah, we're about to finish on that and leave. You know, whoever Watford brings in, Stefan.
Yeah, whoever we bring in, good luck to them. That's all I can say.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Let's actually go to the game at Carrow Road. Actually, a good win for Norwich as well to beat Blackburn 2-0, and Ben Similan scored, and then the debut Mohamed Toure scored as well. His debut goal as well. Michael, good win for the Canaries. Do they not have to worry about Josh Sargent after all the drama that's been happening, you know, with his future?
Drama is certainly a word for it, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, I think what is it? Anis Ben Slimani scored in this game. Obviously, Josh McCarmer, I think it is, who's been really stepping up for them in front of goal recently. At some point, Norwich were going to prepare for life without Josh Sargent, really. So I'm not surprised that with all this stuff that's going on, it's a shame really that Josh Sargent's doing this in a World Cup year. I get from his perspective he needs to be playing regularly in a World Cup year and stuff, but considering, and I know probably footballers don't care about this as much as we'd like to, he's kind of ruined his legacy at Norwich for me in a lot of ways. But to answer, but that wasn't your question. I think personally for me, will they have to worry about Josh Sargent? Not unless they get a massive injury crisis. No, and I think it's important to stress that this game was a 6-pointer, wasn't it? Obviously, Blackburn, who I believe have now gone back into the bottom 3 because West Brom got a point. So, yeah, I mean, I've never been of the opinion that I thought Norwich would go down. I felt like their squad was way too good for it. And truthfully, I mean, look, even if they won, I think if they win at Oxford on Tuesday, apparently they're like 8 points off 6th, which again is just how, as well as Carl and myself know from last season or the last couple of years, how tight and stupid this division is. So, you know, Norwich going to be half within the shout of top 6 if they've generally been cack until this point. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's a crucial win for Norwich, and it's one that will lift them, I think, a bit further clear. I don't know how many points clear they are of the bottom 3 now.
Yeah, they're 4 or 5 clear now.
Yeah,
quick Well, that's another thing because obviously Blackburn are now third bottom. So yeah, okay, 4 points clear. So Tuesday against Oxford, then they could go. I think it's 7 points clear of the relegation zone.
Yeah.
You got to say for Blackburn though, obviously with the fact that Vilishlan Ismail, I can always get that pronunciation wrong. He's now got sacked, hasn't he? So or has left the club one way or another. So
left the club by mutual consent just before deadline day.
Yeah, I think we said this last week, Stefan, didn't we? With Annie, I think we're all quite concerned and what the sort of the trajectory that they're on. And
I'm still of that ilk. I'm still concerned.
I mean,
after yesterday.
I mean, how many more times can you say the regular sort of thing of it's the Venkies, which is that until they go behind the scene, Blackburn, and really a club of that size to be in. I mean, they've been in League One before, but for a club of that size to be in League One again is an absolute travesty.
Yeah.
You know,
I reckon if he even went down, Michael, sorry to cut you off, I don't think they would bounce straight back up like last time. Definitely not.
It depends entirely on the structure of the club, depends on what saleable assets they have. I mean, the Todd Cantwell, I think, is a saleable asset, and he's someone who I think would attract interest, and someone who, I mean, they got for like 500 grand, I think it was, when they signed him from Rangers. Yeah. So that's the good thing. They should be making up. If they make a good bit of money there, and there's not much money behind the scenes, then
Rangers signed them from Norwich. How ironic is that?
I know. It's funny that, isn't it? Yeah, Norwich born and bred, Todd Cantwell is.
And he's at Blackburn, who played Norwich yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, no, I see what you mean. Yeah. It is amusing, isn't it? That might be the first time. Actually, that might be the first time he's gone back to Norwich, or one of the first times he's gone back there since leaving Rangers. But either way, yeah, I mean, they need, like I said, for Norwich, I think Philip Clement excites me and I was someone who, when I'm judging him on his Rangers spell, I wasn't as convinced at first. But I think it's clear to see how popular he is among the Norwich fan base. And I think,
they love him.
Well, I was going to say this season really, really well. Norwich for me are a team to watch next season. In terms of challenge, I mean, they should be up there anyway. Norwich in the Championship, I think they're the most expensive season ticket holders in the Championship. But you know, they're a club that usually are competing around the top end of the Championship. Even as a non-parachute payment club, you would still expect them to be challenging top six.
But
the challenge, I'll just say, sorry, Stefan, I'll say the challenge they've got. The challenge they've got for next season, they need at least two parachute payment clubs to go up this year. Ipswich, I think, have got a chance of it, but if Ipswich miss out top two, which I don't think they will, to be honest, but say they miss out on top two, then you've got Ipswich, and let's say for a second Southampton get playoffs, which is mental considering how below par they've been. You know, only one of them can go up at least. So there could be at least, depending if Leicester go down to League One, you know, you've got potentially Ipswich, Southampton, Leicester. Obviously, Sheffield United won't be a parachute payment, but then you've got Wolves, Burnley, and then one of, say, Leeds, Forest, West Ham, whoever it is. And particularly if it's like Forest or West Ham with the embarrassment of riches, well, all of them will be dipped hand with what will happen with them. Yeah, it's next season's going to be a fascinating one.
Well, we were discussing this yesterday on the Saturday show. I think it's going to be West Ham that go down with Burnley and Wolves. I really do. Because we were discussing they need 42 to 45 points to have a chance.
I think that's more for West Ham need to get to 42 points than any other team.
That's what we were saying yesterday. And I don't think it's going to be feasible. So I think, Nick, and I say it because they beat us yesterday 2-0, but
I think I know what you're going to say, yeah.
Yeah. If West Ham goes down, Millwall goes up.
Could you imagine saying that to Millwall fans like a year ago? Oh, by the way, you're going to get promoted and West Ham's going to go down. So, yeah, I mean, from that point of view, it would be interesting winner. But yeah, I think for a lot of the non-parachute payment teams, whoever comes down with Burnley and Wolves, next season's going to be a challenging one because you're not going to have, because usually every season before this one, you could count on 2 parachute teams getting promoted. That could still happen if, say, Southampton get in the playoffs and they win them and Ipswich get top 2. Of course, that could still happen. Every non-parachute payment club.
I don't want Southampton to win the playoffs if my team's in it, do I?
Well, of course not. Of course not. Well, you never know. Well, you never know. Maybe they swap places with Wrexham. Maybe Wrexham finish 7th or 8th, and then Southampton going to win. finish themselves. But I suspect Stefan's not going to be a big fan of that either.
No, but I tell you what, Michael, I've not seen you since before transfer deadline day. So what was your best championship move of the window?
That is a good question. I'd probably need to have a look at the window actually to see the list of names right in front of
Well,
me.
you've got
I know, is it Onyedinka, whatever his name is? The Brentford midfielder's gone to Coventry.
Oh, Franklin Linker, yeah.
Actually,
yeah.
Sorry, from a selfish point of view, and I probably am going to say this being a Sunderland fan, but Dan Neil to Ipswich, I think, is a really good move.
Yeah.
I think Dan Neil, anyone in the top end of the championship would have been touting him. I think, actually, we've scattered a few of our players across the championship, to be fair.
Yeah, listen, you Addy, Michael sent you the link.
Hang on. Yeah,
because we're not using stream because I'm back on tonight. So yeah.
Hang on. Right. Let me try it again.
Because I mean, for me, selfishly, like yourself, Michael, for me, Davis Keyword Dunn, Bailey, Zach Viner, what a window. But it was quite to see that Keyword Dunn only made the bench yesterday.
I think another one. Sorry, go on. Go on, Steph, you finish.
If it was me, I would have put him in for a start, but that's just me.
Can I just mention another one, actually? If you're asking me about another transfer, that is good from an Ipswich point of view, but not from a Bristol City point of view. Alex Nemetti, I think it is, going to Ipswich for £3 million. Which obviously...
Don't say that, because he's in the comments. You'll be very upset.
He's not in the comments.
He's there now.
Right now.
Don't say that.
Well, to be honest, we've already had an Andy Nemetti going
exactly.
to
Can we not trust Michael with sending the correct link anymore? Please, I'm joking, Michael. I kid. Hello, everyone. Pleasure being on.
Yeah, no, it's been a while since I spoke to you, Andy. I'll let you guys take the reins, and pretty much as I've got the week, because I had the weekend off, I'm back on tonight. So yeah,
fair enough. Actually, Annie, we'll just ask you this. Sorry, while Stefan's here, he asked me what was the signing of the championship signing of the transfer window, whether it be deadline day or across the window. Since he's asked me, well, let's ask you. Nemetti to Ipswich for £3 million.
A general transfer window.
Yeah, general, not just you guys. I mean, generally.
No, I thought you meant deadline day.
Well, deadline day or in the whole of January.
Which one stood out to you, basically, for one reason or another?
Mehmeti is obviously up there, isn't he? I mean, that's a cracker of a signing. Dan Neil.
Yeah.
Dan Neil.
Can I throw another one in there? Sarmiento to Middlesbrough.
That's a good one. That's not a bad one. It's not a bad one at all.
That's not a bad signing for them at all.
Yeah.
There's been some decent business. Carlos Vicente to Birmingham.
Yes. That's who I was thinking as well. Yeah.
They dropped a lovely sum on him, $7.5 million or something. So better be all right.
It's from a championship club to a Scottish club. Kai Andrews of Coventry City is on one at Hibs for 6 months.
I wonder why Stefan thinks that.
Well, exactly.
I genuinely think he's a good player. In the game and a half I've seen him play, he wants to get forward. So I think when Cov get promoted by somewhere or another, you want to go back and test yourself against the big boys.
Well, was it the right move, especially it's been a bit he's been a little bit lackluster or going more up front at the moment, and I know has that been the issue that why getting him on loan was so vital?
I think so, along with Dean Scarlett from Spurs and bringing in our two strikers, Suto and Owen Elding from Sego Rovers.
Yeah.
Along with the defender whose name I cannot pronounce, but he looks a big brick at the back, so that's good. But yeah, so I think that'll be a good loan move for Kai Andrews. Yeah. We'll come on to the squirrel in a while.
Yeah.
We'll get on
I
to
literally
score
watched
later
it
on.
today, and these things I've ever seen.
Because that caused 11 minutes of entertainment at the end of that game, lads.
Do you reckon Annie, like at the end of the game, was just going, couldn't that bloody squirrel just piss off?
I
Yeah,
tweeted during the
sure.
game, all well and fun having the squirrel on the pitch, but my heart rate's not going to enjoy it when it's got like 15
Once it's like
minutes
11
added
minutes
time.
of stoppage time.
It's all fun and games right now, but when we've got minutes of stoppage time at the end, no one's going to be fucking laughing that way.
No.
Yeah,
God, no.
exactly. Couldn't we put a Bristol City shirt on that squirrel and have him play for us too? He would be good on the ball.
So what you're saying there, Stefan, is basically every Bristol City game for the rest of the season needs a squirrel running on the pitch.
That's what he's saying. Yeah.
Clearly so. Runs on the pitch, they win away 3-2. Oh, can I just rub it in Annie's face here? What was it last week I said? I wouldn't be shocked if Bristol City win at Hull, and he was quick to shoot it down straight away.
You shot it down when...
That fan, you know Reece will do it for the last couple of games. He didn't do it yesterday because you bloody won 2-0 against Spurs. So you kind of lucky you didn't need to use reverse psychology today.
I know.
Oh, boo-hoo for Reece. I tried using reverse psychology to beat Accrington and Stanley at the Stadium of Light. I know I pick on Accrington all the time. I'll shut up. Sorry, Carl. This week on this descended into madness.
Oh, don't worry. This is why
Carl's just used to it.
This is what I've been missing. This is what I've been missing for the last couple of weeks without being with you guys because I've been so busy. So
I'm talking about us beating Accrington and then a squirrel on the pitch at Hull.
Have we talked about any games yet?
We have.
Okay, I'm just
We've got a couple. We're not got to Bristol. We're not got to the draws because I thought get that out of the way. Maybe Coventry, which I did do. So
you've done literally every draw. So have you done Coventry, Oxford, West Brom, Stoke, and Charlton QPR?
Yes.
Yep, done.
Oh, champion. All right, we missed the dull ones. Okay.
With the doors, we were just starting to get into the 1-0 wins and the 2-0 wins between, that was it.
And that's before we get into the furry creature on the pitch.
Yes, exactly.
Go on then.
Quite well to get through that because I thought so you guys come on. I'm going to get rid of the crappy struck draws and that. So
okay then. What's the next one then?
Right, fair enough. I will give you. Do you know what? Because I know you
21 points. Because but that was because they were put into administration as well. So
exactly.
Yeah, okay. So how far are Leicester off that then? Do we know? Is there any reports of them being close to
administration?
Yeah. I mean,
I doubt it.
I doubt it, but
I think
the fans I beef want the club to sell, the King Power to sell the club now because it just feels like with them having still having John Rookin in charge and so forth, there's an issue with the board now. I think the Leicester fans are now turning onto the board and saying that they need to go or sell the club because now I think the Leicester fans are now feeling that I've now pissed off to the max. I think Top needs to sell, Top needs to sell the club.
And is it not also because they're worried about Leicester versus Bromley being a fixture next season?
Can I just quickly talk about Birmingham? Because this is a big win for them, isn't it? Because we saw against Derby a couple of weeks ago where Derby went down to 10 and they couldn't quite break them down, could they? And they got scored one, but they couldn't go and win the game. That's obviously an improvement. I remember we did it last season. Sorry, I'm sure Michael won't be bothered, but we beat Sunderland 2-1 when they went down to 10 men. And a couple of weeks before that, we played Hull when they went down to 10 men and we couldn't beat them when they were with 10 men for like 80 odd minutes. That feels like a bit of a, right, we can do this. We can overpower teams at St Andrews. We can just win by sheer sort of that patterns they have, and they do play some good football, and they have some unbelievable players. Birmingham, I think forward as January signings started for them. Osman, Vicente, Wagner, and Solis, they all started for them. So heavy investment in January. 2 points off the playoffs. The door is open for Blues, and let's be honest, they haven't been particularly good up until about 2026. I think they sort of, what's the opposite of exceed? Underachieved. Under par, yeah, underachieved. Not by masses, but sort of lower mid-table,
disappointed.
Yeah, I think we all sort of were very excited about Blues, and are we now seeing a more consistent? They're not smashing everyone 3-4-0, but they're winning tight games. They're winning at home.
Yeah,
they need to improve a little bit more away. But if they do that, if they get back on track and they start winning away games as well, they're going to
get a bit of consistency. You never know. That's the thing.
And the thing is, we know they can do it. We know they can do it because they've got the players to do it. And I think they've got a manager who is capable of doing it. And I know some people might not agree, but I think the squad's good enough for top 6. And I think they're one to watch for sure.
Can you see Stefan's face there when he's just going, I don't like this conversation. We're 6th.
You think I like this conversation? We're 8th, Michael.
And you're above Birmingham. I suppose so. Actually, hang on. What is the points gap between you and Wrexham? Let's have a look.
The points gap is at least
one gap between Bristol City and Wrexham.
And then for Wrexham is two.
Can I just point out, to be fair, this is Annie's chance for a bit of payback here, because Stefan was giving it all the biggin last week about how, Wrexham are a few points clear of Bristol City. Oh, look at his face. He's going like, and now he's gone a little bit quieter, bless him.
I will not be uttering a word until the 17th of Feb. I will keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, I think Stefan's in agreement with you there, because he just nodded his head with that one, so... Yeah.
Stefan's like, no. He's like, no, I don't like this. Can everybody below us just be crap, please? And we can just cement 6th at least. That would be lovely. And he's gone.
Yeah,
there he goes.
Fair enough, man.
Oh, God. Yeah. We've got at least 4 games left to talk, actually, so it's not been too bad, actually. We've done quite well. Let's go to the game at Pride Park. A win for Ipswich Town, that beating Derby 2 goals to 1. Lewis Travis had a really bad day, scored an own goal, then he was sent off in the second book offense in the 92nd minute.
That was a good result for me.
I wonder why.
Former Ipswich as well, Lewis Travis, part of that double promotion team.
Yeah.
Nice cameo for Ipswich, yeah. Another appearance for Ipswich, that. Christ.
Can I just say, though, that's an impressive win, though, because Derby's form recently has been... We see the start of the other. What was it? The start. Oh, the one they had one result in February. Never mind. But you look across their January fixtures. I think they've only lost to they lost to Wrexham, lost to Leeds in the FA Cup. But other than that, their January's been pretty stellar for the most part. So, and I think Pride Park, obviously, it's starting to become a difficult place now for teams to go. Yeah, well, look at Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough went there and lost at the start of the year. So, I think it's good from Ipswich's point, because we did say, and I think we said this on previous shows, about how Ipswich's away form is the one thing that does concern me with them. And obviously the rest of this month, they've got a lot of away. I think they've got Wrexham twice in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, we've got them once in the league and once in the FA Cup.
Yeah, and then they've got someone else. No,
they would have had Pompey away, but that got cancelled, didn't it?
Because Waterlog pitch again. So basically, I don't know, has that been played later this month? Okay, well they got Wrexham, and then Watford all the way from home. Okay, Watford have got another manager, so they'll probably win that. And then they've got Swansea at home. So that's the one thing that still concerns me about Ipswich. Their away form does need to be better. But don't underestimate how big it is. And bear in mind, they got pegged back in this game as well. That would have been an easy excuse for them. Not an excuse, but it would have been feasible for them to sort of crumble or not be able to win the game. And they managed to win. And actually, they missed some pretty good chances in this game as well, Ipswich, to make it even more comfortable. And I've got to credit Leif Davis. That is a brilliant header to win the game. He couldn't have placed that more accurately in the top right corner if you tried it. So I think that's potentially momentous for Ipswich, especially with Coventry not winning, Middlesbrough going away to Sheffield United, which I wouldn't be shocked if Sheffield United won that. Yeah. So...
I don't know who it was for Derby, but all credit on trying to acrobatically clear the ball. He just missed it by a hair, though.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm trying to figure. Let me just see who tried to clear it.
Maybe? Was it Liam Brewster?
No, Bruce. Was Bruce? I know he scored the equaliser. But I'm just thinking with the header as well. I'm just thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty much. I think it looked like it was. Yeah, it looked like it might have been Ryan Brewster trying to, because
I'll credit them for trying to clear that law, but that wasn't going to stop it.
What do you guys think this means from a Derby perspective?
I didn't watch the game, but Eustace mentioned a lot, and I normally quite like John Eustace in terms of being quite honest and what he says, and he said a lot about they deserve something from the game. They've still got Sammy Smodic to come into this team, so they'll obviously be naturally
That's
stronger.
another great signing story in January, by the way.
Yeah, very good. So I think they'll be stronger, and I wouldn't be too concerned. I think Derby are much better. They're obviously the best team in the league away from home, aren't they? Apart from, I think actually no, they are the best team away from home in the league. So they know where their strengths are. They're not as good as Pride Park. Obviously, it's still a difficult place to go because it's Pride Park. You've got 40,000 Derby fans sort of in your face. But I think away from home is where they're more suited and how they're playing. I think that's where they'll pick up the majority of their points, which is a bit weird and it's a bit of a flip to the norm in this division. But I wouldn't be too concerned if I was Derby. I think it's a very good Ipswich team. I think you'll finish below Ipswich, whatever happens. And results, apart from a couple, obviously Bristol City won, Preston won, Millwall won, but maybe Millwall a little bit out of reach for potential some teams. Birmingham won, yeah, but it wasn't the worst set of results ever. It was a mixed bag. So I think if you're a Derby, you kind of look at it and you go, that's one of the tougher games you'll have. You've played Ipswich twice now. Take it off 15 games where you just have to make sure you're good enough. And it's a lot of traffic, but Derby have proven they can be a real nuisance. So I wouldn't be too concerned.
I think seeing that goal yesterday from when it would leave Dave Scott, it looks like it was Ryan Bruce who tried to clear it with the back. Actually, it did look like it was here because he was number 18. The other or Bruce, there was one of those two because I could see they were trying to clear it. So yeah. Right, but it was a good goal, and I think, like I said, with Derby under John Eustace, they've been decent this season. You know, especially they really gave us a tough game in the FA Cup, no doubt about it as well. So as I said, but for Ipswich to get to get that win at Pride Park is huge for them. It's really huge for them, especially in the game yesterday.
Absolutely. Well, it closes the gap to obviously because Coventry didn't win, Middlesbrough go away to Sheffield United tomorrow night. Obviously, Bristol City did them a favour by beating Hull. So I think I think for Ipswich is as good as a weekend as you could have hoped for so far, without knowing the context of tomorrow night. Because I think everyone would have expected, even with Coventry's stutter, if you like, we would have probably still expected them to beat Oxford, especially when Will Lancashire got sent off. So, yeah. And I like what Kieran McKenna kind of said, really, where we just said people can say whatever they want. We know we've got things to work on. So he knows that the standards will keep on being high at Ipswich, and you'd imagine for them the standard would be getting automatic promotion.
Yeah, absolutely as well. Absolutely good for the promotion race as well. Okay, we could talk about the Sunday, the one Sunday game today. I know most of us did watch it. I've watched briefly the highlights, but the short highlights of Sky Sports Football on YouTube. But Swansea beating Sheffield Wednesday 4-0 today. 2 goals from the Potnick as well. John Franco scored as well. Yakoy scored at the 8th minute. I'm a bit surprised someone from asked Henry Pennington a question about the team's relegation. I'm thinking it's so pointless to ask him that, and I know his future's under the scope as well with the new prospective owners, James Ball coming in. I don't know what you guys taking it, but it feels like his reign is coming close to an end.
Yeah, I mean, he's not been in the job for all that long, has he?
Not since I think it was just before he came in, just before the first game of the season, before all hell broke loose. Yeah, when Daniel Rowe was sacked. Yeah.
So when was that? August?
July, August. Yeah.
July. So July.
I suppose no one else was ever going to take that job apart from him. So
it's about 6 months he's been charged.
I think just obviously from a Wednesday fans perspective, I think Wednesday fans are all going to accept they're going to be like worst team the Championship's ever seen and stuff, and worst points record, and that's fine for Wednesday fans. That's enough. Like, it's hard to stomach, obviously, but I think they can accept that. I think what they're really not seeing though from this Wednesday team is, and yes, they have literally got no players and they've got a ton of injuries, right? But there's no real sort of style of play. There's no real idea of what are they trying to do. And again, I appreciate it's hard with obviously a group of players who can't be sort of motivated or anything of the sort. I mean, that must be so disheartening for those Wednesday players. And I do feel absolute sympathy for them. But I think Henrik Pedersen's been a relatively good spearhead. I think he speaks well. Obviously, that doesn't mean a hell of a lot, but I think he's sort of conducted himself during what has been worst period in that club's history. I think he's conducted himself really well. Once again, doesn't mean for much if you can't win games. I think it'll be interesting to see whether he gets a job, because I think there's been a certain level of loyalty and mutual respect between Pedersen and Wednesday and potential prospective new owners. And I do feel bad for him. It can't be easy at all. And I think this is his first job professionally as a manager. I think possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's managed abroad or not. Certainly in England. So I mean, that's just an extra layer, isn't it? So I do have sympathy for him, but again, I also get Wednesday fans can sort of concern and frustration over, they just want to see a team just show a bit more than what they are at the minute, because they've not scored a goal in 10
games. I think it was.
Not 10.
It's either 9 or 10. I think I saw on the match report might have been 10, but either way, it's
staggering, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just looking at
scored a goal since the turn of the year, I think.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Pedersen. He has managed 5 other clubs before he got the Sheffield Wednesday. His last job was in Denmark, and he's always Denmark for Venice. But his first job was for Red Bull Ghana. He managed in Germany at Eintracht Braunschweig and Stommel's Gap. So he has, but his managerial record average ain't really that good. I think his biggest win percentage is around nearly 39%. Was at HV College, that's it. And he's, Sheffield Wednesday's record win percentage is his lowest in ever team at 2.86.
Can I just say as well that I think it's at 39 points adrift now, effectively, because I think it's 32 points, then -7, so that would be 39. And I've just realised something that Wednesday fans will probably hate. In 2 games' time, they go to Bramall Lane. Now, I can imagine for them, if any of the bottom, if say who's 21st or a few teams pick up a few more points and they lose next weekend to Millwall, Barry Bannon coming back to Hillsborough, by the way.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, that's another one. So, I'd feel for Sheffield Wednesday fans that if the game that mathematically confirms their relegation is at Bramall Lane, I think that would be...
Either they get relegated at Bramall Lane, which I'm sure is nightmare stuff, right? For Wednesday.
Or Barry Bannon could send them down.
Or Barry Bannon sends them down, exactly. So it's...
Which one would you take?
I think they'd take Barry Bannon any day of the week.
They would, yeah.
I think if I was in their shoes, I think the last thing you'd want is to get relegated at your rivals. I think it would be totally inconceivable to be able to deal with. So,
whilst your rivals are also having a pretty crap season themselves, I mean, in the grand,
they can think their one saving grace is sending you down. It's Mate, I mean, they're going down anyway, but you know what I mean. They don't want to be confirmed that game, do they?
No.
Definitely not.
So basically, they're just hoping everyone continue to be shit until they've played Sheffield United, and then get relegated after that.
Yeah,
because they're probably going to lose to Sheffield United anyway, aren't they?
Yeah.
Swansea 5 points off the playoffs. That snuck up on me quite a bit. Look,
they've been under the radar for a while, actually.
I've told Michael pretty much since Alan Sheehan was in charge. I rate the Swansea squad a lot. I think this Swansea squad is pretty half decent, and it's no surprise they've got a very good manager now in Vitor Matos.
Good evening, Doug.
Evening, Doug.
And now they're
now, quick plug, by the way, I'm doing a preview of Doug on my channel tomorrow.
Well, actually, I am going to put on the description because he's just put a video about the VR after that Liverpool lost to Man City.
I suspect he's going to have quite a bit to talk about it with it.
Very much from you tomorrow.
Sorry, Annie. Continue. Sorry.
As I was saying, it's no surprise to me now they've got a very good, sort of capable looking manager in Vitor Matos. They're now playing really well, and they're winning games, and I think they've won 10 under him already or something like that, which is not bad going. So yeah, fair play to him, to Vitor Matos. He's really changed that around. But I quite like that Swansea squad anyway, and I think it was a pretty good squad. So yeah, I'd watch out for them, I guess, a little bit. They're also now, I suppose, a part of the pack that's chasing, and I think upcoming they've got some teams they play that sort of in and around them. They play us soon. I think they might play a couple of teams that are sort of in that promotion race. If they can beat them, and they're really good at home, if they can beat them, there's no reason why they can't do it because they've got good momentum. They've got a new manager who everyone loves. They're playing a nice. They're playing a really nice brand of football.
Well,
high pressing, that sort of Jurgen Klopp.
If Swansea get the playoffs, they're Wales.
Yeah.
Imagine Wrexham Swansea in the playoffs.
Yeah. Because don't you play them on the 50th of March with the Stefan against them at the racecourse ground? Because at the racecourse, I forgot that's going to be a huge game that weekend on the 40th of March. So yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, we've got a lot of huge games coming up from now until end of March.
Correct me if I'm wrong as well. Didn't you beat Swansea in the very last minute at their place? Or am I making that up?
That it was the other way around.
Oh, of course. Why did I think? Okay, never mind. Ignore me then. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, Wrexham were leading, weren't they? And then I think Swansea turned it around.
Since Vitor Matos has taken over Swansea, which was 13 games ago for them, they have been the 4th best team in the division, and they've been better. We've talked a lot about how good Philippe Clement has been at Norwich. He's been 2 better than Norwich, better than Millwall, better than Wrexham. Like he's got 1 less point than Kim Hellberg in that period. I mean, this guy's doing a good job, Vitor Matos. Like
there was people questioning about him coming into the club, but I think he's answered those questions to us because we were a bit critical. I remember the first couple of weeks when he came in, those questions about is he good? Was he the right man? I think he's proven to us he has been at his foot so far.
Yeah, I think you've got to include Swansea in that playoff race. And I think a lot of it, well, pretty much all of it, is down to Vitor Matos. Yeah, fair play to him for what job he's doing.
Can I just say as well? Do you include Sheffield United in this if they beat Middlesbrough tomorrow? Because you have to include them then, don't you? Because then they're on the same points as Swansea.
I bet all Cov fans will be Sheffield fans for an hour and a half tomorrow.
Just calling it now. Gus Hamer, if he's fit, and Callum O'Hare, they'll have the games of their lives tomorrow.
Well,
typical, isn't it?
Like I said to you last week, I was ruining Callum O'Hare. He was insulating, man. Come on. Don't.
No, it's just something I thought was interesting to point out. And again, it comes back to say we've kind of put this in the category that Swansea haven't been that great until Vitor Matos has come in. Then you got Birmingham, I think Annie said, weren't great till 2026. Southampton have been under par until recently. And Sheffield United have been really under par. And yet if Sheffield United win tomorrow, they're all only 5 points off the playoffs.
It's just the traffic between them and the playoffs, isn't it? Because there's so many teams. Like, not obvious. Obviously, not everyone is going to be sort of consistent enough to be this is not going to be the league table's not going to be this tight. Game 41, game 42. It is going to like spread itself out.
It'll be tight between about probably half a dozen teams, I'd say.
Yeah. No,
I know what you mean. Not this many, not like a dozen, like half the championship.
There will be teams that won't maybe fall off a little bit. Yeah, but this is still great entertainment with 15 games to go. And we're talking about sort of down to like 17th in the playoff race. Is brilliant. I
mean, I suppose at least me and Carl can enjoy watching this.
No, this is brilliant for me. I'm honestly not even like I'm just enjoying it. It's a great good. This championship season's been brilliant.
Absolutely, it has been brilliant.
We'll see you next weekend.
Hey! Before you get set off, Stefan, I'm going to let you take the lead on the penultimate game because I'm leaving Annie's game. So take it away. This is your Wrexham. You have your say about your defeat to Millwall before.
Here we go. He's going to go. This wasn't very good. Annie, next.
No, you're right, Michael. It wasn't a very good performance. I'll confess, I just had to watch the highlights because I was busy yesterday. But from what I saw, we had a good couple of first chances in the first half. Probably the best one fell to Isa Kabori from Liberato's cross into the box. And we were just a whisker away from scoring that. And then the game really sort of picked up after the hour mark, as we know. Thanks, Max, for scoring that lovely goal. But it was at the wrong end. It was an own goal.
It was a great finish.
I know. No, if only we could do that at the right end, we'd be quitting. And then Sam Smith was through. He scuffed his shot. It hit the nearest crane in the stand, which was a feat in itself. Because it was at the site of a new cop site. And then Millwall rounded it off, and quite rightly so. I mean, if I'm honest, we knew that was going to be a tough game because Alex Neil always sets his sides up to be tough, to play expandingly. And even on the road this season, I can't take anything away from Millwall. They've been excellent. I'm putting it down to hopefully, and I stress hopefully because of next weekend, hopefully it was just an off week. Yes, by some minor miracle, we've not dropped the place, we've not gained the place, we're still in sixth by the skins of our proverbial teeth, and I say that quite openly. But we move on to next weekend. We prepare for Bristol away, which is going to be a fun tie. I'll probably be on the Twitter group chat next Saturday, depending. And if you're at the game, Annie, next week, which I hope you will be, in a 99% think you will be, if we can get your take, that would be absolutely brilliant. Because I think it's actually going to be a very close game next weekend. I don't think either team's going to walk it. I think it's going to be close. Now, I know that Annie's a bit sick because we got Zach Viner, who's Bristol through and through. And
he's true. He just gave you the stroke, actually. Like, yeah.
I mean, I was a bit surprised yesterday that Davis Keeler Dunn was on the bench. Now, think back to week one. He played against us 3 times for Barnsley in week one, and he scored 3 times for Barnsley in week one against Wrexham. But one key thing I thought was very interesting in his first interview, he said he always kept an eye on Disney FC / Wrexham results. And yeah, that's my take on yesterday. As in for having a rant at Parky, like you, Michael, no. Because this season, as I've said on numerous occasions now on the Championship Review, is about consolidation. Anything over and above, which is what we're in now, is a bloody bonus.
So are you going to say that if, say, Bristol City or Swansea overtake you and finish 6th while you finish
No. Then
so much for it being a bloody bonus then.
Then I might take to social media and have a little rant or two.
I wonder.
Teams like Bristol City, am I right?
No, Annie, you said it wrong. He would go teams like Bristol.
Teams like Bristol, Christ, yeah.
Yeah.
Sent a shiver down my spine, that.
No. I mean, in all seriousness, lads, it was a morale boosting win for Millwall. It's just in their push for the playoffs, and we just had a bad day at the office. So,
I think we have to remember. I think me and Annie had said this as well before. That I think that whoever because I think Millwall are a very strong bet.
Yeah.
Top 6. And I think, and again, as I mentioned, not even just the fact they got Anthony Patterson on loan from us, Tommy Watson on loan from Brighton as well. They're 2 players that have had recent experience of getting promotion, or 2 very high end quality players for this level. Alex Neil knows what he's getting with Anthony Patterson, but you got Aziz there, you got Josh Coburn there as well. On top of that, there is
Josh Coburn, thank you, pal.
I wonder why he says that. But yeah, so but we have said, now we interested to know what Carl thinks of this. I think Millwall, if Millwall do finish in the playoffs, which I think they probably will, whoever, especially if they finish, as Annie said before, I think especially if they finish in 3rd or 4th, whoever's going to get them over 2 legs, good luck.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Better win heavy in your first leg, otherwise you are in for a
Pretty
long
much.
ride.
Or if you're going to the Den in the first leg, be prepared to be bloody battered and bruised out of it before the second leg starts.
It's going to be a full-on 90-minute assault, mind.
Oh,
Pretty
yes.
much, yeah. Full Millwallisms. You know.
No, I see why we're called the Lions, because they just roar all the time, right?
It's because no one likes them, apparently.
Exactly.
Well,
Well,
but don't they apparently thrive off that, though? Don't they say, like, we
But-
love the fact no one
but-
likes us. We don't care.
Clearly they do, I mean.
could you imagine this, though? If, by some miracle, they don't make it through the playoffs, because we all know they're hard to beat, and if a certain team drops, could you imagine the derbies?
And we already have though. We've seen that from like 10 years ago, over 10, 15.
I was going to say, whatever league, whether it's Millwall stay down and West Ham come down, or West Ham stay up and Millwall go up. Can you just imagine the police in London going, Millwall versus West Ham United?
But on the flip side, if Millwall get promoted to the playoffs, you've got Millwall Chelsea next season.
Yeah, but it's not
Millwall
going to be big. It's not going to be big than, let's say, I don't know, Millwall Leeds.
Would Millwall Crystal Palace be a better example than that?
That's happened a couple of times over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So
there's a whole Jean-Philippe Mateta gained his head.
Yeah, that whole
injury,
scenario.
horrible, nasty injury. That
Yeah. So pretty much,
Yeah.
you could see that, but it's the Leeds and Millwall thing is the one intense one. I think
you've got some beef with Millwall, don't you? I'm pretty sure you
I've
said
beef with it for a long time, long time.
Can I just?
I thought you had beef with Man U, but if you go,
No, that's different. No. That beef don't come close to what us and Millwall. It don't even come close.
Great, go on, Annie. What are you going to say?
I was just going to say on Millwall, they've dropped Barry Bannon straight into that team. He started as a sort of forward option for them, and you typically for Wednesday you'd see him a little bit deeper, wouldn't you? But those Millwall sort of number 8/6s, whatever they are, do a lot of running, and I just wonder if Alex Neil looked at that and went, I'm not sure he's going to be a perfect sort of person in that pivot, so stuck him a little bit further forward. And from my hearing from Millwall fans is he was pretty good and played some lovely passes. So that's what we get with Bannon, and I agree with Michael. They've got Watson on the bench, obviously Patterson there as well, but he's not going to come on and make an impact. But Watson can, and you've got Aziz on the pitch, you've got Negley, you've got some brilliant players. You've got Coburn coming on, and Josh Coburn, mind, in the 4-0 thumping over Charlton, missed an absolute sitter, and then scores a fantastic first time finish in this one where he has no time to think, just snap at it, just hit it, and he does fantastically. So I think Millwall are, I wouldn't say yet that they are sort of, do you remember West Brom a couple of seasons ago when they were just in their island of their own in like 4th or 5th? They were
just under Colbrand, wasn't it? When you had like
you
had Ipswich and then it was Leicester, Leeds, Southampton, or whatever it was in the top.
Yeah, it was like everything was going. All the fires were going off around them, above them and below them. They were just in 5th and just happy and content in 5th place. I'm not saying Millwall could do that because I think they're quite close to both. Actually, they're 6 points off both Wrexham and Hull. I think they're both.
I think they're 4 points above Wrexham. Just to correct it, let me double check that.
Or the playoffs anyway.
Oh, sorry, you're right. They're 6. Ignore me.
Right, yeah. So they've got a nice gap either way. So you could see them being as they are right now and finishing in the playoffs quite comfortably. I'm sure that's what that's what they want. And if that situation does occur, then you're looking at a one single spot for the playoffs. If we agree Hull are going to stay in there, which we might or might not. But yeah, that feels like a seismic win for Millwall because they didn't play well from what I'm hearing. But you go away to a direct rival. This is the directest of rivals. One team directly below you. You keep a clean sheet. You don't play well, but you keep a clean sheet and you take your chances. Typical Alex Neil at Millwall for you.
And here's the next few. So obviously Sheffield Wednesday away again next weekend. Portsmouth at the Den after that. Birmingham at the Den. Preston away for the rest of the month. So the next two in particular are ones that I think if you're Millwall, you're looking to get 6 points. Obviously, it's not a given you're going to, because it wouldn't shock me if Millwall dropped points at home to Portsmouth, but then went and won away at Preston in a couple of weeks after that. Again, it's the nature of the championship, but I've said before, I think I've got a strong. I think I'm quite strong on Millwall being in there this season, and I think in many ways it'd be fitting for them because you remember the playoffs debacle they had just under 3 years ago when obviously Sunderland got in the playoffs at Millwall's expense. Millwall should really have finished in there, so I think it would be. And I think this time they've obviously got the right person to be able to do it, and I think they've got the right person to give them a genuine shot of winning them as well.
Yeah,
if they get in there.
They would have got it last season if they'd won on the final day at Burnley. Was it easy said than done? But they took the lead. They took the lead.
They took the lead. Yeah,
they took the lead. So yeah, they've been close on a couple of occasions. They've flirted heavily with it, haven't they? They've gone 8th a couple of times. So yeah.
And when Alex Neil went to Millwall last season, didn't he start in quite a disadvantaged position when it comes to the playoffs? And then he only missed out on the final day as well.
Yeah, they're still bottom half, weren't they? Like
so
bottom half. I think you've got
the bottom 6, maybe.
I think probably the job he's doing at Millwall's going a bit under the radar, actually.
Trust me, not here, not on this channel where we.
Not from us. We praised it a lot.
Not from us, but expert analysts analysing everything. Can
I just mean compared to a lot of other jobs that a lot of other managers have done, I don't think this is getting the credit that Alex Neil does deserve from this.
Alex Neil took over on the 30th of December. So his first game, it was New Year's, lost to Oxford. It was one match day 25.
So he's had 18. He's had just over. By the end of the season, he'll have had 18 months, won't he?
Yeah, pretty much. And since because one of the games was rearranged the match day 17 because of I think it was due to the pitch the pitch that was frozen at Portsmouth when the lights went out of the park for the last season.
Oh yes, I remember that. Yeah.
Aye. So since then, first lost to Oxford, drew against Sheffield Wednesday, lost to Hull City, started to get on a winning run and get on winning three games against Luton, Portsmouth, and QPR, and then they lost. Yeah, they had. I think after that they had about 6 league games lost, but they won majority. But Joseph said they won all the games, all the games. So yeah,
they
had a very good record of missing out. Yeah,
they're beating teams around them this season, which is so big, like actually crucial to getting in there. You need to not, at the very bare minimum, not lose. If you can beat them, you're laughing, aren't you?
Absolutely. So I think fair play to Millwall for that. As much as Stefan won't want to probably hear that, fair play to Millwall for that whistle.
Right, absolutely as well. Right, let's get to the final game. And what a game it was, actually. It was end-to-end stuff, including with a game today where the Squirrel twice evaded on the pitch at the game stage.
It was an end-to-end running on the pitch where Squirrel ran across the pitch, through the net, and then behind the advertising boards.
I think if the Squirrels got Squirrels goals counted, it would have been about 5-5. So thank God it didn't.
Absolutely. And he gives you a take on the game yesterday, and actually a good win. That was a good win, especially with the goals. Both sides scored. Berry scored the first, and then
Can I say that pass quickly from Twine for Reese for the third?
Yes.
The counter-attack for that third goal is sublime. It is peak Gerhard Struber ball. That is exactly what we sort of want to see from this British team. I think having Tommy Horvath in there and having a left-footed sort of attacker. So obviously it was Mehmeti and Twine, and I love Anis. I love Scott Twine. I think they're 2 very good players. They're both right-footed, and Tommy Horvath out in Austria has played as a right-hand sider sort of midfielder, and he's a left-footed, and his left foot is absolutely beautiful. I mean, that's absolutely wonderful left foot. I think he scored one against Celtic this season for Sturm Graz, where he's just nailed it. So sorry, the curve on the shot. If you haven't seen it, that's actually ridiculous. How we've managed to get him is testament to the recruitment team and to, I'm sure, Struber. So having him on the left allows Scott Twine to move to the left hand side, and his sort of angles he creates, and I think just allows him to be a little bit more natural, a bit more comfortable, and the ball he does play is as a result of that. The counter attack is brilliant. We start the game well, and then obviously Hull go on and score. I think it's probably a mix of bad defending, and we get caught out of place. But McBurney does really well as well, and shifts the ball and creates an angle and puts it under Vitek. We didn't stop. We didn't sort of let our heads down, and we just kept going. And look, I wasn't particularly surprised. I didn't go, "Oh my god, we've beaten third place." We are more than capable of being a top team in this division. I'm still sure
I
of that.
call bullshit. That is not what you were saying last week at all.
I think us at our best is more than capable of competing. I think obviously January's affected that a lot, and I wasn't. But again, I'm also not surprised when we lose 5-0 at home to Derby. Like, it's just a case of, can we be our best more than when we're at our worst? So yeah, the goal we score, Rob Atkinson, nice header. He's scoring a lot of goals from centre back, from set pieces, and again, Tommy Horvath's delivery from that corner is brilliant. And having Atkinson back in the team really helped, and you could see Rob Dickie was more comfortable. So obviously against Derby, it was Tanner, Dickie, and Pring as the back three. Against Hull yesterday, I know we conceded 2, but relatively restricted them to quite little. It was Dickie, Atkinson, and Tanner, and having Atkinson back in there is honestly amazing. The guy's a brilliant centre back, left footed, drives the ball forward from the left hand side. Just love Rob Atkinson to bits. And the second goal we should have scored. It's honestly a mess. Tommy Horvath misses an absolute sitter, and then ball keeps regurgitating in the box. McCrory finishes it. Nice finish, to be fair, top corner. Then we go 3-0 up with the third goal, which is a thing of art. I mentioned. Do concede with 12 minutes to go, but what I really liked about us was obviously Squirrel Gate happened. I think at 3-1, and I'm going. This is all fun. This is all fun and games now, but we're going to have about 10 minutes of stoppage time, and I tweeted as much. And alas, we concede with 10 minutes to go, and what does the stoppage time say? Another 10 minutes. So, my fan brain was incredibly concerned, but we did the dark arts really well, and we might sound a bit disgusting, but I love that from us. Just get the ball in the corner, keep the ball, pass it, slow the game down. I love that from us. Obviously hate it when opposition do it, but I loved a bit of bite in us, and we sold the game out, I thought, really well, and didn't let Hull too much. When Millar came on for them, they kept feeding the ball to him because we had Mark Sykes on at right wing back, who isn't the strongest defensively. He's okay at wing back. He's more fruition going forward, but they kept targeting Millar, but they didn't really produce a lot. And I'd say they probably had 2 clear chances, and they took both of them. And we had a lot of the control. I think you saw how Jakurovic mentioned after the game, the better team won. Also paraphrasing. He said something along the lines of C deserved to win. So I'm sat here and I'm kind of going, right, can we now put a run together? Because the door is open. Like, there are teams below us, like 5-10 teams below us, who want to sort of look at the playoffs as well.
Yeah,
we're right on the verge of it. We're 1 point behind, and I think we're still good enough to get in there. And I've mentioned that I think we are good enough to get in there, but it's just a case of, have we done well? I suppose January we'll find out, but have we? This is a one-off. Can we now put a run together? And it's a big game against Wrexham. A huge game, because last season we only got in the playoffs. Well, not only, but one of the big reasons we got into the playoffs was we beat a lot of the teams around us. Well, there are a lot more teams around us this season as well. I think we've lost to Millwall twice. We've only taken a point off Preston. I mean, our record this season against some of the teams around us hasn't been the best. If we can beat Wrexham, start to put a run together, just go a little unbeaten run, 5 games, something like that. Just put some consistency on the board. Then I think we're in with the right shout.
5 games is going to be 4.
But it's just a case of
Bristol City 3, Wrexham 0 incoming.
Oh,
Mr. Bower.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
I think it's just a case of, can we put a run together? Because I think that's what we want. Because I'm not surprised when we go and put 4 at Sheffield United, or beat Middlesbrough, take a point off Ipswich, perform really well at Coventry, beat who did we beat? Hull 3-2. I'm not surprised when that sort of thing happens, because we're capable of that. It's just, can we do that on a regular enough basis? Is our floor that low? And unfortunately, this season at points it has been that low, and that floor just needs to bump itself up a little bit. But yeah, a good win. New signing Tommy Horvath was brilliant. Noah Ryler came on at the end. He didn't have much of a cameo, but hopefully he is sort of integrated into the team quickly. Yeah, overall feeling positive about that, but it needs to be more consistent, and it can't be just a one-off. We can't now go and not turn up and not put in a performance against Wrexham. I'm sort of ignoring the Port Vale game in the cup, but we can't now just sort of lose 2-0 at home to Wrexham, be abject, not create anything, and we're like, oh, here we go again. It's got to be a back-to-back win or 3 wins in a row. Put some sort of consistency together, because we're crying out for that.
What do you guys think the playoff? What's the points tally do you reckon it would take to get 6th this year? So Wrexham are currently on 47, and we're 2/3 of the way through the season, pretty much.
Last year it was 68 points when Bristol City got it.
Probably going to be more than that this time, you'd imagine.
Yeah,
I think at least 70, 72.
72.
I'd say 72 to 74, 75.
Yeah,
and that's probably what the time would tally you'd need in there. So if I'm looking at it from a Bristol City point of view, if you're looking to what are you on, Annie? 46 points or 45?
46, yeah.
46, right. So I would say then out your next 4 in the league, obviously, not discounting Port Vale 1. Wrexham, Ashton Gate, Swansea, Liberty Stadium, or whatever the hell it's called these days. Ewood Park, Blackburn away, and then obviously Ashton Gate, Watford at home. I'm looking at that and I'm going, the least you probably want out of that is 6, 7, 8 points, I'd say. If you want to maintain the pace with everybody.
Yeah. No, look, I think it's pointless looking at for us anyway, because I don't think we've got a clear pattern of we play relegation threatened teams or we play top teams. I think it's a bit of a mixed bag in terms of we play a little bit of everyone. So yeah, I mean it's gonna be difficult, and I wouldn't know exactly at this point what sort of points tally we're looking at. But if we could just keep in touch and sort of play, just take it right to the end, or if we're in a good position right at the end. At the moment, Wrexham projecting 69.7, which is obviously one, or maybe potentially, if you want to round that up, a couple of points more than what it was last season. So not greatly up, but you have got a gap between 5th and 6th at the moment. So yeah, it's an ultimate at this point in time. It's a shootout for one place between half the division, as we've mentioned quite a few times. So, look, I'm quite relaxed about the situation. I am not sort of going, oh, we need to do this, that. We were here last season. We got in because we were really strong at home, and we're really good at what we do. And I think this season, if we're just good, if we are excellent at what we do, and we just pick up that consistency, which I think we're all dying for here, then I think we can. And again, countless times this season, I've gone, we haven't played that well, but we've gone and won the game. We've not played brilliantly here, but we've got a point. And it felt like last few months, it was just catching up to us a little bit, and the form dipped quite significantly, or quite a bit. If we can just, but the nature of the playoffs this season are that so many teams are in it. If you can just keep yourself going, or you can just sort of chip away and get enough points, you're going to be right when they shout. So, like, I'm quite relaxed about the whole situation. I do think Wrexham at home is a big game, and I think that is going to be a nice litmus test in terms of, are we actually capable of getting there? Because we obviously lost at the racecourse. If we can go and turn them over Ashton Gate, that'll be nice, and it would be a sort of a little bit of a statement, not to the rest of the division, but a statement to us, like going, okay, we're good enough here, boys.
Boost the confidence, you think?
Yeah, like come on, we're good enough here. Let's go and actually show what we're made of. So yeah, good win. Not overly surprised we've gone away to 3rd place and just sort of controlled and taken our chances and created some very good chances and scored a few goals. But what I'm concerned about is, can we go and put it all together and now make it a consistency? That's the issue. So yeah, good win. Good impacts by certain players. Now, hopefully, for the next 15 games, we can put on enough points to go and do the job.
Yeah,
I think as well, if you're wanting to look at it, I would say by the next international break, if you're on 46 right now, I would say that for me personally, this is the way I'd look at it, but it's just my brain working it this way. I would say if you get to around 60 to 62 points by the time you've played West Brom, so you've got to the international break then I think you're not in a bad position then. Because then say if you've got the 60, it gives you 7 games, I think, left to get, say, 14 points. You average 2 points a game. You know, it's easier said than done, obviously.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? That's I think if you get to at least around 60 to 62 points by the time you've played West Brom, I think you're in a pretty good shape.
And if you look at our last 6 games, you could make an argument for every single one of those teams that we're playing could be in the playoff race, could be in the playoff mix. Like Sheffield United, maybe QPR, maybe Norwich, maybe Southampton, maybe Birmingham, almost definitely Stoke, almost definitely. So it's a lot of head-to-heads, sort of reminding me of last season, where you've got a lot of head-to-heads, quite a few of them at home, 3 away games in there, but you've got teams who are in around you. Go and do the job. Pressure's on. This team did it last season. I think.
Remember when you beat us as well? Like it wasn't like because we got to that point where we were rotating a lot, but we played a strong team against you, Ashton Gate. To be fair,
yeah, it was.
It wasn't like we were playing Milan Alexic or whoever else it was, or Simon Moore in goal. You know what I mean? We still played a relatively strong side, so you proved you can do it.
Yeah, last season it was West Brom, Watford, Norwich, Sunderland to a certain degree. Who else? There's one. Not. Did I mention Norwich? There's definitely one more in there that we beat all at home, and we just did it.
Give me a minute. I'll be able to find it.
Just managed to find a way. None of them were massively convincing or sort of brilliant. It was just get the job done here, boys, and we did.
Away, technically, although that was the start of March. That was before they really.
Yeah, Middlesbrough, that's the one. We all just beat them at home.
Drew away Sheffield United as well.
Yeah. So look, I think this team's capable. I think this team's it just needs the confidence and the consistency, and a clear sort of plan of what it's doing. But I'm now just sort of moving on from January, and I think a lot of our frustrations from January, and the case of let's get the job done here because we can do it, and we are. I think we are capable of being better than no disrespect here at all, a Preston, a Derby. You know, they beat us 5-0, but a Wrexham. I think we've got the capabilities of being better than those sides. It's just a case of can we do it over these next 15 games?
Carl, get your date locked for 17th of February.
Will do. Will do.
Notice how I didn't have a jab at Wrexham over there. Yeah?
No, absolutely.
Just a bit of.
Stefan, your response?
Thanks for not having a job.
That's it. Fair enough.
There you go. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Always, let's get the table up as well. Just click on here. So Coventry are still top of the table, but only a point ahead of Middlesbrough, while Ipswich Town, Hull City Ipswich Town and Millwall were the only teams that won. Also see here that from Wrexham down for a little bit, all the teams lost, but it's still ahead of Preston off end due to the goal difference. But teams from all the way from 6th all the way down to 15th, only 5-point gap between them. At the bottom of the table, Sheffield Wednesday still still at the bottom of the table, along with Leicester City now dropped down, but ahead of goal difference with Blackburn losing. Oxford, with the draw, stay 23rd. Also with West Brom moving up to 20th place as well. So yes, that is all with all the stuff that at the table as well. So that is good to the end of the show, guys. Especially we are now going to be done as well. Especially it is a good thing I'm back for the next couple of weeks. So you'll see myself, Stefan, Michael again, and Annie next Sunday as well. And like I said, we'll be back on with the Saturday show next Saturday at 11:30 a.m. as well. So please keep an eye on our content on the Total Leaving Home Football podcast as well, and please follow Annie's channel and Michael's channel as well on here as well too. We just got Michael back on. Michael, we lost you there a bit, but you're back on before we wrap up. So yeah.
Yeah, well, thanks very much for having me on. Apologies for being late. It was my own fault for not reading Carl's message and going, oh, it's 8 o'clock. Right, okay. No wonder they've gone live earlier. But no, it's been nice to have you back on, Carl. And it'd be nice to maybe come up and see you. It'd be nice to catch up again at some point.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll be looking forward to. We'll plan all that out as well. But like I said, thank you for everyone for joining us as well tonight. And we'll see you guys at the same time at 8 o'clock next week here on the Totally Whole Football Podcast. And that's all from us for now. It's goodbye from all of us, and we'll see you guys soon.
Bye.